Everybody's mic working?
Yes.
Testing,
Yeah.
1, 2.
Cool.
I think so.
All right, let's begin. I know it's been a long day. A few of you might be funneling in, but I promise it'll be a fun one. I think this is actually a really important topic we're going to be covering today, an emerging platform. Just a little brief introduction. My name is Alex Hager. I'm going to be moderating this panel today, and I'm joined by some awesome talent alongside of me. And just a little background about myself. I've worked pretty heavy in the Instagram social media industry. I do some awesome work with Tiny Sponsor, and I am a creator myself. So let's take a little look at what it is we're going to be talking about today. This is a lip-syncing app turned Vine creation. TikTok has grown faster, honestly, than any app I've ever witnessed. Formerly known as Musical.ly, its parent company took a gamble, ByteDance. They took a gamble with $1 billion investment, rebranded their name and presence, and now with over 500 million active users monthly, its App Store downloads exceed Instagram, which is insane. To be honest, I think this gambling, you could say, couldn't have gone better. With me here are some incredibly talented people on the TikTok platform. They've been here, some from the beginning, some more recently. I wanted to take a second to have everybody introduce themselves, tell them what they do, and how they're associated with TikTok and its virality.
Hi, I'm Kellyanne Stankus. I'm a gymnast and an actress, and I've been on TikTok for about 3 years now.
Hi, I'm Uniquely Marina, and I'm a social media influencer. I've been doing social media for about 3 years, but I recently just started doing TikTok back in December, and I produce comedy content.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Maurer. I am a gymnast and actress, and I primarily post gymnastics videos on TikTok. I've been on the app for about 3 years.
Hi, my name is Jack Jerry. I'm also a gymnast. I also do acting and modeling as well, and I've been on the app for about a year now, and was on it when it was also Musical.ly too. So.
Hey, I'm Christine Barger. I'm not a gymnast. No. I am a ventriloquist and an actor, and I've been on Musical.ly/TikTok for about 2 years.
Awesome. So those are some of the panelists we have and the awesome skills they have. So one thing, to start it off, introducing TikTok and the opportunities it's brought to some people. Some people have been since it was called Musical.ly back in the day. But I think that one thing that's really cool is watching social media transpire and transcend into real-life situations and real-life opportunities. And I'm cheating a little bit because I already know some of the awesome stories of some of the panelists up here. But the first question I want to ask them is, because of TikTok/Musical.ly, what has been the coolest opportunity you've received?
This year I was nominated for a Shorty Award for TikTok. So I recently went to New York and attended that award ceremony. And I also went to South Korea with TikTok for a TikTok gala. And it was a really cool, unique experience because they brought a lot of creators from all around the world there. So we were able to collaborate with people from Indonesia and also South Korea and China and many other locations. So it was a really great experience.
My overall biggest experience, not as big and cool as a Shorty Award. I think
Nobody
just,
wanted to follow the Shorty Award.
I know.
Okay, cool.
I should speak up. I think just the general thing of seeing how many people I can impact, and it's kind of crazy that like you can now like walk down the street and people know you as a TikToker, and it also fits into the realm of like acting and stuff too. So people know who you are, and it's just like, it's crazy to see how many like little kids and people I can impact, and also show them that like you can achieve your dreams through something as small as your phone, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's just so cool to think that like you do create such an impact through like creating videos on a platform. And I recently had a similar experience like Jack, where these little girls came up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, we've been trying to meet you for like months now." And I'm like, that's insane to me, so it's just really cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I also really love that TikTok has given me an opportunity to, along with AGT's Darcy Lynn and Jeff Dunham, but to inspire kids to get into ventriloquism. And so a lot of kids will see me on TikTok and they'll get inspired to try that. And it's a way for them to express themselves when they're going through things that they normally wouldn't be able to express themselves through a different outlet, which is really cool. And they'll write me and DM me and say, "You've inspired me," and now, you know, and I've made really big changes in the way that they interact with the world and with people and the confidence that they have. And it's always cute too when you're like in public and you can tell they know you because they get shy and like
They're like staring across the room. Like,
to their dad, and their dad's like, "Excuse me, will you take a photo with my daughter?" And you're like, "Yeah. Do you have TikTok? Here, what's your handle? Let me follow you." And they're like, "Oh!" So it's fun. I like that too.
So, I mean, as you guys can see, pretty much everybody here, I think, has had a pretty cool experience that's come out of it, whether it be small in the day-to-day, just having appreciation for what they do, or something more extreme in traveling the world. For example, Kellyanne, I'm going to put her on the spot right now. She's been on Ellen twice because of it. It's pretty cool.
So is Kaylee.
So is Kaylee. They were on Ellen twice with their dance group. Before we dive in, I think one thing that really needs to be made clear, it's no stranger to a lot of people what YouTube and Instagram are. People have a pretty solid understanding, at least to a certain degree. TikTok, for a lot of people, is a new name. They don't know what it means. They don't know what it does. I want to actually get your guys' description. If you were talking to somebody, maybe elderly or somebody that doesn't really understand that industry so much, without any prior knowledge, how would you describe TikTok to somebody, and what would be the reason for watching and viewing the content that's on the app?
Like somebody that doesn't know what Vine is?
Exactly. I mean, you could also use that as like an analogy, though, because I think TikTok, in many ways, has become reminiscent of Vine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I usually tell people, it's like Vine, but it's not dead.
Yeah.
It's really popular. Or like if I was telling my grandma, I told my grandma, I was like, "Oh, Grandma, I make silly 15-second videos with my puppets for a job." And she was like, "For who?" I'm like, "For lots of people everywhere in the world on my phone." And then we got into the whole, like, how do people watch things on your phone? And then she touched the screen and it freaked out. Then she freaked out.
That's a conversation that never ends.
Yeah.
I usually tell people that they're really fun 15-second videos that can captivate your attention really easily, so you're able to watch a lot of different content in just a few minutes on the app, which I think is a really cool idea. You can see things all the way from comedy to athleticism in just 5 minutes because they're only 15-second videos, and the wide range of talents, I think, is what makes it really unique.
I know a lot of people usually ask, like, "Oh, is this just a lip syncing app?" And I think it has definitely gone away from that, and there's so much more on the app now other than lip syncing. Like, Kaylee and I are gymnasts, there's ventriloquists, there's other gymnasts, and there's comedy. So I think it's definitely gone away from the lip syncing part of it.
So for a point of reference, everything they brought up is very accurate. If you were to go on TikTok today, it'd be pretty reminiscent of Vine, just a lot more features. Longer view times, more effects, more things. It's definitely kid-friendly in a lot of ways, too, because there's also fun things you can engage and interact with, challenges, which we'll dive into that in a little bit. I just want to kind of give that as a frame of reference, and what Kellyanne is referring to is the foundation of Musical.ly was essentially a lip-syncing app. A lot of people thought the videos were very cringy, and there were a lot of young kids that were lip-syncing to popular songs that you could input on the app, and it blew up that way. But just about when people thought the app was coming to an end, it got rebranded as TikTok, and now it's bigger than ever. And its kind of subject has changed dramatically, even though it still has some of its earlier reputation. So moving forward, now that we kind of have an understanding of what the app is, at least to a basic degree, I want to actually dive in pretty boldly here and say, on TikTok, there's a variety of features, tricks, time warping, all sort of different things built into the app. What is your favorite feature, and how do you utilize it?
Probably the timer feature, as strange as it sounds, because it makes it so much easier to be able to really take your time with your content and split it up into pieces. And if you need to try like one part of it over again, you still can film the first part of it without having to just try it in one shot.
And you can do it by yourself too.
Exactly.
I used to have like my mom do it, and it was so hard. But then like, yeah, I can sit in my room and like do it myself, which makes it easy.
Yeah, also the feature where you can watch the part you've already filmed. So you can film half of a video and see what you've already filmed, and then go back and continue to film the rest of the video. I think that's a really benefiting feature, because previously with Musical.ly, before they added that feature, if you messed up a part of your video, that was it. You had to start the whole thing over. And some of our videos take a lot of time to make. So if you do the first part perfectly, if you mess up the second half, you don't want to have to refilm the whole thing again. And I think that them adding that feature was really helpful for a lot of creators.
Cool.
I like the upload feature.
That one's
I can
usually
just
pretty
upload
helpful.
videos I've already made to TikTok and then edit them to 15 seconds.
I like that as well.
So one thing that's become a really big highlight of TikTok is insane growth. Some people see exponential growth. There's a friend of mine who his account's only 5 months old, and he has over 3 million extremely active followers. You basically won't see that on any other platform unless you're a celebrity like Jack Black, who's recently blown up on YouTube. So with that comes viral content, which equals viral growth a lot of times. Have any of you had viral content? And if so, was that your plan? If yes, how did you orchestrate it? If not, what was your reaction and why do you think it went viral?
Honestly, every time that I went viral on TikTok, I did not plan it. It was, in fact, maybe a really stupid video. Like one of my most viral videos, like I filmed it in just a couple of minutes. I had somewhere to go that day, and it just blew up. And I try to look back at it and think, why did it go viral? And sometimes I just think you really don't know.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Both of my really viral videos.
And for reference, what do you consider a viral video? If you can, give specifics as to view counts and likes.
Both of my highest videos have around 30 million views and around 3 million likes on the videos. They were both done essentially in one take and just uploaded to the app. Looking back, they were very unique and intriguing videos opposed to the rest of my content, just in really specific ways. My one video, I started showing my face with the camera opposed to just being in a gymnastics pose, and I think that helped be a little bit more relatable. And in my other viral video, I was holding up a guy in a handstand, which is not really something you typically would see on an app like that. But in opposed to the rest of my content, I think it is a little bit random, like you were saying. One thing I do though in my in my captions, I always try to ask a question to just help the fans be involved in the posts. And it's a lot easier to respond to comments when you do that.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of things you can try to control it and make something go viral, but you can't really make it go viral. It just has to happen. But I would always say too, there's the three major things I kind of do is make sure the thumbnail is good no matter what, because the thumbnail gets the person to click the video. So that's me trying to get it to go viral. And then, yeah, engaging comments. So I will ask them a question, so then they answer the question in the comments. So then you get more comments, more engagement, and hopefully go viral again. But, and then hashtags, just so you make sure you get seen. But even when you do all those three steps, you still, I don't think, can control what goes viral.
Sometimes you can literally not even caption the video and it'll go viral.
And it still
Yeah.
will,
Yeah. I had my biggest video is 36 million views, and I was at the WB haunted house and I saw this stilt walker scare this guy, and I happened to film it and I thought it was funny, so I posted it. The next week, and I just left it up. I didn't think anything about it. The next week I was in Orlando. I'm a haunt blogger as well on a side thing, and I was just at Universal in line, and my phone started blowing up. I was like, what's happening? And it notifies me when I get new followers, and I got 200,000 new followers while I was waiting in line to go into a haunted house. And I was like, what is happening? What's happening? People like me. And they didn't. They liked the haunted house guy. So those people didn't engage with the rest of my content, only my Halloween content. So in that sense, it was kind of a bummer. However, recently I posted a video that's almost to 1 million, and I knew it would be it would be sort of popular because my husband caught me. Our freezer's broken, and I ate a popsicle, and I got my tongue stuck to the popsicle, and I couldn't get it off, and I started crying, I couldn't get this popsicle off my tongue. And he didn't actually record it properly, so I did it again on purpose and recorded it and posted it because I knew that kind of content, when you're looking like an absolute idiot, will blow up because the kids love it, especially when adults do stupid things, unintentionally. And so that ended up actually doing pretty well. But my comedy content, I can't gauge whether it's going to do well or not. The stuff I think is not funny will blow up, and the stuff that I think is funny, the kids don't get the joke.
I think it's most important to just have fun with your content and enjoy what you're doing and not really focus too much on what's going to go viral or not, because I think just like as we covered it, it's a little unpredictable. So as long as you're having fun with it and you don't stress yourself out, eventually your content will go viral as long as you're putting out something that's quality. And if you're having fun, I think that's the most important thing, and it's an even better day when it goes viral.
Exactly, and it's gonna come through in your content. If you stressed out making that, if you thought too much into it, it's like your viewers are going to be able to tell.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody who's blowing up right now on TikTok, it's not that they're not planning their content, they are, but they're making it look very unplanned.
Yes.
Like all of the new creators that are really growing on the platform are not the Jackie Butlers that are having these beautiful, well-shot, professional-looking videos. There are these 20-year-old kids that are doing sort of cringy trends and making them a trend.
I feel like fans want to be able to relate to your content, so the more relatable it is, and when they watch it, they feel like they could be doing the same thing as you, whether that's like quality or what's happening. I think can also help with the engagement.
That's a really good point, because one of my most viral videos, the lighting was actually so bad it was almost in the dark, and I almost didn't even post it.
I know that trends do really well on Musical.ly. Some of my most viral videos have like over 20 million views, and those were trends on Musical.ly, like the trending hashtags. But I just made those hashtags my own because I do gymnastics. So I took the hashtag, I thought to myself, what can I do to make this incorporating myself to what my fans are gonna like? And those videos went completely viral. They were #1 trending hashtag. I was like the #1 on the app in that hashtag. So people like trends on Musical.ly because they feel like they can do the trend as well and make it their own.
And you used to be able to kind of plan going sort of viral by using the trending hashtags.
Yeah.
If you knew they were going to post around 2 in the morning our time, if you wait up and watch for that hashtag to drop, if you weren't getting them ahead of time magically, like some magic people get them, the fairies pop in and tell them, I don't know. But if you get and you wait up and you get them and you do the video right away, you'd be at the top of the hashtag because you would be one of the first people to post, and then you could trend yourself. I don't know that it works quite as easily now as it used to, but it seems like things have changed a little bit and shifted.
So it seems like, as you can tell, a lot of people, their growth to some degree when it comes to viral content can seem completely random without any prior planning of any sort. They can plan rigorously and it might not go anywhere. They can upload something silly that they don't really think anything of, and all of a sudden you've got 36 million views, like Christine was saying. So I was actually going to ask them if they had any sort of viral checklist. It sounded like Jack had some sort of like criteria that he reaches every post, but it sounds like a lot of this viral checklist might not even make an impact to a certain degree based on the case studies we see here. So the question I have is a little bit more specific than just overall checklist. Captions. I think on all platforms, people emphasize and focus so much on how vital is a really compelling caption. How do you gauge a compelling caption, and how important do you really, really, really think it is? So my question for you guys is, how much thought goes into captions, or do you view them as nothing more than an accessory to the content itself?
I think a caption has to do with the video. Like as Kaylee said, she likes to ask a question in the video because we post a lot of gymnastic videos. And so we can't really relate a caption to our video unless we describe what we're doing in the video, which is kind of boring. So I feel like with comedy videos, to have a great caption is very important in that. I know some of you do comedy. So
do you think from creating, I mean, that's like a really first like step of creating something engaging just by asking a question, because a question
will get you comments.
Yeah, you know, just natively is an engaging interaction. Do you think you see a measurable difference from creating captions with questions that drive engagement from the forefront?
I definitely do see the difference in comments wise.
Okay.
I'll get a lot more comments because they'll answer the question that I asked. But it just depends on the video, really.
I pretty much try not to post something without a question because I see over a 60 to 70% difference if I don't ask a question. However, in terms of the importance of captions, I mean, for me, and this was actually advice that I was given a while back, but sometimes people don't even read the captions, and that's why it's so important to make sure the video is so clear and you don't rely on the captions, because sometimes they just don't even read it. I don't know.
Yeah, I just posted a video. I went to the circus. Sometimes I do vlogging life things that they're like kind of in line with my stuff. And I posted the description underneath the video or the caption, and I said, I'm at Circus Vargas. Do you think he's going to land this backflip on the tightrope? And I have probably 100 people asking if that's me, and at least 50 people saying, where are you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it says in the caption. But, you know, it causes then the other kids can respond to each other. So sometimes it's not like a bad thing that they're not reading it.
Yeah.
Because then they get a lot more interaction in your comments, which is good. It's a good thing.
And the other thing too is when you're asking questions in your posts, you have to make them as simple as possible. Like some of my most commented posts are literally the question was 1, 2, or 3. It's like if the question is too complicated, they're not even going to answer it.
I think a good thing about questions too is your fans want to feel like they can interact with you, and asking the question makes the post a little bit more personable to them because they have something directly to answer. And then you can also reply back to them in the comments based on the question you ask, because obviously you're really familiar with the question. You're not just getting something really off topic from them. As she said, as far as like virality goes with the caption, I don't think it's necessarily super important. As she stated earlier, your video can go viral with no caption, but I think for a basic post and just how well the post is going to do in general, whether it's viral or not, it is important.
So you think overall, and just taking virality out of the equation, creating content that at least steadily grows or performs well overall, you see creating an engaging caption as a very big part of that?
Yes.
All right. So the next question I have is something that is so overlooked on many platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and it's something I asked in the previous panel today on the Instagram panel about branding and people with multiple interests. If we take a few of our examples today, we've got Jack. Jack's a great friend of mine, great kid, super talented at multiple things actually. Modeling, acting, works very hard, also a gymnast. Somebody like that loves to do so many different things. They love to share themselves with the world. They love to share every side of them and be authentic. But at what cost? At a certain, level, you have to really evaluate what is worth sharing with the world. What is it you want to share, and how can somebody feel attached to you? If you're doing 27 different things, it's hard to really like one thing about a person and stay for that one thing. So branding and being specific about who you are and the content you create couldn't be more important. Somebody like Kellyanne also does some modeling stuff too, but she's an incredible gymnast, dancer, the list goes on. How do you brand yourself on TikTok if you have multiple interests, multiple hobbies?
I feel like one very important thing is showing your personality, because someone can watch a video and not feel connected because they don't know your personality. If you are showing, even just in the gymnastics video, like if I show my face and show my personality in the beginning of the video, they're going to feel more connected to me other than just watching, oh, she's doing a flip. I feel like personality is one of the things that fans want to grab onto because they want to get to know you, they want to get to know who they're watching, so I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I feel like as a creator, this is like something that you're always working and developing on, because I just started TikTok back in December, and my main thing that I do is beauty. So I do that on YouTube and I do that on Instagram, and comedy is actually fairly new to what I'm doing. So it definitely is something that you have to like work on bringing through in your TikToks.
You kind of have to like test it out,
Exactly.
like see what video is going to do well. Like sometimes I like to post fashion videos, but that might not do as well as my gymnastic videos.
Whenever I want to explore new things as well and different sides of myself, I try to always throw in why the followers follow me. So if I'm doing a comedy skit, I'll try to like throw in some sort of like gymnastics concept in it. That way it is something new and they get to see a different side of me, but I'm also showing them what they already love about my channel. And so if you can somehow intermix the different sides of you, I know not every talent intertwines as easily as others, but I think that's a really good way to show different sides of yourself as well.
You just like took my answer.
Oh, sorry.
Going down the thing. But yeah, so exactly what she just said, but also I think too, yeah, everybody thinks you gotta like put yourself in this box and kind of like pick one category to be under, but I think it goes back to the personality and kind of being relatable, because yes, we do all this awesome stuff, but in the end, like, how do I relate to the person watching me? And people love relatability, so as long as you can always link it back and be like, oh, this person's just like me, they're going to want to follow you regardless, I think.
I 100% agree with that. And I think that it's pretty common in people to like more than one thing. Like not everyone.
Yeah.
Like most people aren't just really into one thing. So if they are engaged in your personality,
They're going to like whatever you do.
Yeah, they're going to love whatever you do.
I also think your audience will kind of let you know if something that you are interested in, they're not as interested in. When I started with Musical.ly, I used to make a lot of cat videos because I love my cats a lot. My fans do not love my cats as much as I do. So they wanted more puppets, and they're like, "Oh, where's your puppets? Where are your puppets? Are your puppets babysitting the cats? Like, where are your puppets?" Someone actually wrote that today in a live stream. They were like, "Is Darlene at home watching the cats?" I'm like, "Yes, she's not with me at the thing." But I realized that they didn't want that, and so I created a separate account for my cats, which now has like 30K. So my fans who did like my cats went and followed them, and the ones that didn't were happy that they only have to see them about once a month now, as opposed to like once a day or once every 2 days. But I still also have a ton of other things on my account, and they like that content. But like I said earlier, sometimes if you post something too far outside of what your demographic is, you'll get a bunch of fans from that, and then they're not there for your other content. Then they're confused. So you have to kind of be careful not to post stuff that's too far outside of what your fan base is looking for.
Awesome. So in a second, I want to talk about money and live streaming, because we've already heard that they've become quite successful in the app. They've done quite well. Before we dive into that, I want to ask, if somebody came up to you and they said, "I want to grow on TikTok," and it could be any industry, what do you see, even though you said it could be at random, what do you see? Do you see any sort of common trend among viral videos and content that performs extremely well in the app?
I would say you want to try to have something attention grabbing from the second the video starts. Sometimes there's like, if you have too big of a setup for your video, people are scrolling through like their homepage, and especially if it's on the For You page, if it doesn't grab your attention right from the start, they're going to keep scrolling. And so to start your video off with a bang, I think is extremely important to that.
And does that also include your thumbnail too?
Yes, definitely that, but sometimes you don't even see a thumbnail unless they're on your page. If you're scrolling through your homepage, you're not going to necessarily see the thumbnail. So the start of your video has to look like something somebody's going to want to watch, or else they'll keep scrolling. And also try not to go above 15 seconds, because you want somebody to watch your entire video and you don't want to lose their attention. If you go over the 15-second mark, they probably will end up keep scrolling on your video as well.
So for somebody that hasn't used the app, per se, there are certain things that I think to you seem so instinctive. You spent so long in the app that you understand certain trends, you understand what it means to create engaging content, you understand what it means to start out with a bang. For somebody that hasn't used that app, can you describe what those things might be? Is it a thumbnail? How should it look? Is it the music choices? Is it the timing features? What are the things that go through your head naturally that somebody might not be at that level yet?
I think music choice is very important if you are going to have a video with no talking in it. You do want to try to use a trending sound or a song that's really popular that just hit the radio, because that's something people are already going to want to listen to. Also, since I'm a gymnast, I always try to start out right away with some sort of trick, or if I'm on a hoverboard, I want to showcase the hoverboard from the start. I don't want to stand, a lot of the time will show my face, but whatever the primary part of the video needs to be in the shot right from the beginning, so they get excited for what's to come. If I just started the video, say like I was going to do a dance video, I might start my dance video with a back handspring or a trick, because then they'd be like, ooh, what's going to come next? And then it was just a dance video. But if I start out with a dance move, lots of people do dances on TikTok. So you want to try to start out with more your unique quality, I guess, so that people want to keep watching.
I want to say for me, like, more just general is kind of consistency. So, because there's people too, my whole strategy when I first started was put my face everywhere so you could not know who I was. So that was across all social media. So
this guy's literally on every app, by the way. I swear.
He is.
It was like a whole marketing plan. But yeah, consistency. A lot of people will have, say, one viral video, but then they'll just disappear and you won't know what happened. So it's kind of like that rabbit and the turtle story that my mom always told me. Slow and steady wins the race. So kind of like if you're constantly in somebody's feed and you're constantly posting, they're going to want to follow you versus more than somebody who has one giant video that blows up, but yeah, they haven't posted in 5 months, so why am I going to follow you anymore? So I think consistency is really big on TikTok and every single other platform as well.
I would also recommend if someone's brand new to the platform, really try to make friends with people who are already on the platform and have an audience, because one of the easiest ways to grow, I think, on any platform is to collab with creators that are there and that have an audience. So their audience sees you, sees you're friends with them, likes you as well, and then follows you. Because it's really hard to get noticed when you have 0 followers and no recognition and nobody's following you from another platform. If you're just starting brand new, it's like you could do some of the best content, but if nobody's seeing it, no one's sharing it, it's not trending. So you have to find a way for people like to get that initial like couple of people to find you. And even if that creator that you're collabing with is only 100 followers, that's still more than you have. Like, it doesn't have to be somebody with 3 million followers, but you have to get in front of the eyes, and it's really hard to do, I think, when you're at 0.
I would say that helps too, but then it also gets hard too, because then a lot of people I know that do collabs too, if you only do collabs, they don't really know who you are as a person. So it's good to get the eyes on you too to start, but then also branch off into your own things so they get to know like who Christine is, who Kaylee is specifically, because a lot of people just, oh, if you're not filming a video with these people, then the engagement will drop as well too, which is really weird.
I totally agree, because you never want to be that one person out of 10 in a video.
Well, yeah.
They're like, there's that girl again, and it's like, but you know her name and who she is.
Exactly, you
Like,
absolutely do not.
And know that you really want to do it. If you're going to go to the effort, don't just give it like a week and then go, well, I didn't hit 100,000, so I don't need to do this anymore. Because I've had a lot of people who tell me, like, I really want to get on TikTok. And I'm like, great, I'll work with you, I'll help you grow. And I'll put a lot of effort into these friends of mine, and they'll make like 5 videos and then never post again. And it really frustrates me because I'm giving my time, and then it makes me not want to collab with people.
That's so true. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, so I mean, like that, you want to make sure you really want to do it before you start putting a lot of effort into something.
Yeah, that's so true, because I feel like a big part of social media in general is just posting videos over and over again, whether it's months, some people it's years, you know? It's like you just have to keep going. Even if maybe no one's seeing your videos, eventually they are. And the people who really make it are just the people who like never really stopped, no matter how many people were watching them.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier about making sure you're really passionate and love what you're posting, because if you're having fun doing it, it won't be a burden for you. And a lot of the people I think that have a hard time with consistency or stop posting, it's because they're trying too hard to do what they think they should do instead of just doing what they love and enjoying what they're doing, and the fans can feel that.
And you can make a schedule for yourself too, so that you know you're going to be consistent. Maybe plan for one day of just having fun and doing a bunch of videos and keeping them saved in your phone, and then you can post them throughout the week when you're not feeling like making a video. So that way you're not just forcing yourself to make content when you're in a bad mood, and then the kids or the fans can feel that and they're like, oh, what's going on today? And you're like, what? I'm being funny. Right?
And when it comes to creating content often, it's not just about so people see everything every day. On a viral platform like TikTok, Vine, sometimes YouTube as well, everything you post, as silly or as crazy as it may be, every post is a new opportunity for somebody to discover you. And don't forget that there's stuff that goes viral 10 years afterward. There's stuff that goes viral once a week. There's stuff you can never gauge exactly when and where something is to go viral. You can certainly put yourself in a better situation. If you've got more followers, you're probably more likely to go viral from getting engagement on your posts and shares. Absolutely. But at any point, any piece of content you have has the opportunity to explode. So just keep in mind that by creating content often, you put yourself in a better position every day to grow your network. I want to transition the conversation a little bit. We've talked about growth, we've talked about the platform, we've talked about the background a little bit. There's a couple notes I want to touch on with the remaining time that we have here, because we have some really special panelists that some of which is their full-time job, and I want to talk about how that happens. To begin the conversation, I want to talk about live streaming. So back when Musical.ly was at its height, Musical.ly live streaming, called Lively at the time, was massive. And basically you could live stream on a separate app, but it was kind of integrated with Musical.ly for Musical.ly stars, and they could talk about whatever. They could do challenges, they could play games with their fans. It was a huge live streaming network. The problem is, a lot of young kids took their parents' credit card information and started racking up charges and gifting their creators and giving them money. People like the panelists up here were probably stoked, the parents not so much. So because of that, the app was actually removed from the App Store. And I'm not a master on TikTok per se, so I'm sure there are plenty of gaps that I'm missing here. But with the rebrand of TikTok, live streaming has made a resurgence in the app, and it's a way that a lot of creators make money. I wanted to touch briefly to know how many of you use the live streaming through TikTok, and what do you project in its future?
I use live streaming. I think though too, it's that second component that really takes it from one level to the next level. So I think, yeah, you can be posting short videos and stuff, but if you are live streaming on the platform as well, they get to know you, and it's kind of like they're watching your videos and they're also getting to know
Puts
your
like a
personality
face to the name.
even more. Yeah.
Yeah, I live stream on a daily basis on TikTok. I have since I started almost, because I've live streamed on other platforms, but once I started doing TikTok full time, I do live stream every day. And it, like Jack said, it really does go hand in hand, because when you stream, you will see a huge difference in your growth. You are making a living off of it, and yeah, it's a really
So for people that are live streaming often, I mean, for some people, they go live on Instagram, think nothing of it. Mm-hmm. You can be a high school student just communicating with your friends, letting them know about tea and drama that's going on. For people on other networks like TikTok, there's monetization built in directly to the app, so they can actually make money through live streaming, just like you can in Twitch with donations, just like you can in YouTube gaming. How many of you guys have your live streams monetized, and do you actually view it as a sustainable side or primary income?
I mean, just like anything, it is, I mean, you're working for yourself. Some weeks it's really great, some weeks maybe not so much, but I mean, it's definitely enough to keep going. I mean, I do multiple things. I have my beauty side of what I do with Instagram, but live streaming definitely is a primary thing that I focus on.
I would say too with live streaming, I actually kind of started off my whole social media career live streaming instead of short video platform, and a lot of companies really change their like conversion factors. So when people send you a gift and how much it equals money or whatever, TikTok has like the best conversion right now as well. So it's also being smart as putting your time in the right live streaming platform as well. So it's not only the biggest short media platform, but it also has the best conversion rate as well.
Can you give the audience an example of what it's like live streaming? So if you were to start a live stream, how would you encourage them to gift you? What are gifts to begin with, and how does that translate into income?
You want me to do it? You want to do it?
You can do it.
You do it? I kind of want you to do it. Like.
Oh my gosh.
I'll send you a panda, hurry up.
Okay,
got
so
it.
if she sends me a panda, we will be playing one emoji game.
So many people have no idea what you're talking about.
They're like, what?
Only we know what we're talking about. So they have gifts ranging from 5 coins to 5,000. And pretty much on live streaming, the way that you get them to gift is everything has an incentive. It's like for the biggest gifts that they have, I'll do FaceTimes or duets, which a duet is basically like I'll duet one of their TikToks, which means we're like,
They put them like next to each other. So
Yeah.
Marina would be next to the little kid, and little kid will freak out because they're
Exactly.
next to Marina.
On
And-
the post, not in the live stream. On the
Yeah.
actual
On-
post.
like a
yeah,
short
as a
video.
post, and
Yeah.
they've paid you to do that. Or there's smaller gifts where if she gives me a panda, we'll play a short game in the chat. Or if they give like a gift that's worth 1,000 coins, it's like I'll say I'll follow anyone who gives this gift, and it's just it really works.
It works too. I mean, yes, you can also like the games and all that stuff really work, I think too. And then, but it does get to a point where the game it kind of stalls out a little bit. So I think it's where the fans then they have to really like you and get to know you as well too. Because I have had days where I try to do games and it's just dead, and I'm just like okay, but but yeah, I don't even know where I was going in that question or answer. But yeah.
Sometimes there are just fans that hopefully didn't take their parents' credit cards and they just give you gifts for absolutely no reason. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll just sit there and they'll give 4 and 5 and 6.
So it's pretty obvious based on the descriptions that a lot of the foundation of live streaming for TikTok and other apps that Jack's been a part of that a lot of us have been a part of in the past. They use kind of this gamified system where they take away the number value and hide it behind pandas, gifts, animals, cute creatures that are appealing to kids, which is the entire reason why the whole app was deleted to begin with. So they're basically
one other
fooling
way to
kids
get
into
gifts.
giving their favorite creators gifts, which is the creator's way of just saying give me money, which is
It's a nice way.
it makes it sound so much
nicer
better.
It sounds bad when you say
It
that.
does. Well, and I actually stopped live streaming because I felt bad when kids gift me their parents' money or their birthday money. Like I have a really hard time with that as I've gotten older. It's become a real problem for me, so I don't like to do it. The only time I like to get gifts is really when my stream's really popular, and so a bunch of other creators come in, and they want to get the attention and steal all my fans to their live stream, so they drop big gifts on me. They're like buying my fans away from me. Usually your real fans won't leave. They might follow them, but I don't have a problem taking other creators' money if they want to use it as an advertisement in my stream.
Just go after them.
I just have a hard time when it's like some 9-year-old who's like, I got $50 for my birthday.
Here you
I
go."
love you. And I'm like, oh my God.
You can also like recirculate it in the system as well. So I know on other platforms you could level up by sending people gifts and stuff. So even if I get sent a gift, I would, one time if one of my fans goes live, I can go to their live and send that gift back to them as well. So it's not like I'm totally taking everything away. We're also
Yeah.
keeping it fun for both sides as well.
So my question before we hit our last topic is, it sounds like we have a pretty solid understanding of live streaming. Obviously, you'd have to really see it and experience it for yourself to get a clear understanding. But this kind of platform of gamified live streaming is basically everywhere, with Twitch and YouTube really being the only ones that actually deal with direct currency. So my question is, for your popular creator, you don't have to give personal insights because I know it's a sensitive topic, but for the average creator with, I would say, 1 million or so TikTok fans with an engaged audience, realistically, how much money can you make TikTok live streaming?
I don't know.
How can I answer this?
Because I know it's like a personal thing, but I'm sure there are people that like want to actually see and scale, like, wow, that's actually a sustainable thing. When people heard that Logan Paul's making over $10 million a year, everybody's like, whoa, that's a serious topic.
I do think it's really hard to gauge because it entirely depends on how, like, I know a lot of creators. I don't personally live stream as much on the app anymore, nor do I do it as an income. But I do know just from other creators, I know, like, sometimes they spend 5 hours at a time live streaming. Other creators only go on for 30 minutes. So I think it is kind of a hard question to answer. Due to it really does matter how long you are investing in the live stream at the time. I actually know someone who leaves her phone on live stream and doesn't talk to them, doesn't do anything the entire day. Like, they just are a part of every conversation. She leaves in her purse. And that, so when you find out about how much they're making versus a person who's actually physically engaging for an hour, which I think is a lot better way to go about it for your fans, because you should be doing it for your fans, not to keep it in your purse.
Do you think it can get to
I
the
just think
point
it's hard
of
to
being
gauge.
like actual career income?
I think in today's age, though, too, people are living off of YouTube income as well. So it's kind of the same. I'd say it's the same kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
So I think you definitely can live off of it. But yeah, everything's running through your phone now. So it's kind of crazy that you can live off of this stuff.
I think that there are other ways to make money besides live streaming by using your TikTok influence too. And I'd prefer to do that than to do the live stream, like to
Yeah.
use a platform like Tiny Sponsor or something and say, I have all this influence here, I have this influence here, what can we work out with your brand or something, rather than to just live stream. And you can, I mean, you always have to have multiple incomes when you're doing social media, because you never know if that live stream is going to be awesome that week, if your live streams are going to kill it, or if like something happens and it glitches and you're not getting anyone in your stream. So you want to have your merch, you want to have all these other things as well. That is like how you're going to make your living and have that supplemental income on top of just paying your rent.
100%. And that's all the time we have today, unfortunately. But I want to say before we go, money is obviously a huge part of every social media network. Everybody wants to get paid. But luckily, I've had the awesome opportunity of befriending all of them, some of which I consider my closest friends. And I promise you, they're all very good people. And I really believe in the content they make. If you guys get the chance to get TikTok, download it, and experience it, I think you'll be more than entertained by enjoying their content. and hopefully you get to see the awesome people that they are. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. They're all some of the nicest people you'll ever meet, so thank you.
Thank you.
Alex is pretty amazing too.
He's pretty
Yes,
awesome.
yes, that's great.
All right. So